welcome to More Love, More Life, where I'll be sharing my own journey through trauma, inviting you to explore your pain and find healing alongside me as we create a community that supports and uplifts each other on this path of resilience. It's your boy Maestro today, along with my main man, Big Hak.
What up, what up?
Today, we're going to be talking about trauma. My boy Hawk is going to be interviewing me again. Let's see where we're going with this.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into it, as we say.
What's
Man.
up, Hawk? Talk to me, bro.
So yeah, that one word right there is deep, trauma. But sometimes I feel like we don't really look at that word as it should be looked at, meaning your life. If you had any type of serious trauma in your life, sometimes we may be 50, 60 before we really realize what this trauma caused in our life and the part that it plays in our life. So that's what we're gonna do today, and I'm gonna ask you this first. I'm gonna just have you start from the beginning of your life up into that first trauma that you experienced, and just talk about that, and continue on to the other trauma situations in your life. We're gonna see where it takes us, and see the part that it played in your life.
Yeah, well, what I want to do, we're going to take our people on a journey. We're going to start from my trauma going from day one all the way through. Because as I woke up, I can understand now God revealed everything that was in me that I've now realized I've been hiding. And I see within our community, we've been suffering for trauma so long, and we don't understand what it's doing to us. Trauma is a complex issue. And when you first get that first trauma, bro, you're really stuck at that. You know, my first trauma really came, I think, about 8 years old. And I witnessed a murder. Man, as I think back about that, I can see that man sitting in the car, bro, slumped over, and he was dead. But as an 8-year-old kid, and just seeing the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood witnessed this. And that was trauma. And nobody thought about talking about it. Nobody thought about going to get help about it. We just accepted because it was our neighborhood. And that's how we've been raised. But now I can tell, I can sit here and be honest and show you, I can see what that trauma did to that whole neighborhood. And I can see how it's actually a plan. That plan was put in effect. Because once you experience one thing, your mind shuts down, and I start preparing for me to be that murder victim. You know, that's how deep it went. I didn't see that then, but now I can see it. So it changed the whole dynamics of my life. That little kid, he was gone at that moment. He was now suffering with PTSD. He was now running around the neighborhood with his head on a swivel thinking he can be the next person. And that put us on defense, me, my brothers, you, and everybody else. It put you on the defense, and it activate a mechanism within you where now you're not even a kid no more. It's like you just left a war, and you're living your life preparing to die. I didn't think I'd be sitting here at no 57 years old, bro. I thought I'd be gone. I was living my whole life to leave at an early age. And I'm sure it affected you also.
Absolutely did.
So do you remember your first episode of trauma within the neighborhood?
Yes. Definitely
Tell me about it.
I think I was probably around 10, 11 or something like that. Just I just remember being a kid and just we was still doing kid things, and we was, enjoying being a kid, but then you had the whole other side to where all the stuff we seen and was seeing on our street as far as violence and gang violence. So that's my trauma, like seeing that right with my own eyes, right? Not on a movie, not no Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society. This was right there on my street. So meaning we sitting out there as kids and you know, drive-bys was the thing, unfortunately. So we can't even like really play and break dance and gymnastics and whatever we was doing. We couldn't even really fully focus on that because we wondering what car about to hit the corner and start shooting. Or what car about to hit the corner and my homies start shooting at them. So now that actually became the norm, which is not normal. It's really, as I talk about it, that's crazy. But it became the norm to where we just like, and I'm going to be honest, it was like exciting too. Not that we want to see nobody get shot. It was just like, oh, it's a summertime. Man, I wonder what's about to happen this week or the next week. Because it seemed like every week somebody was getting shot.
Well, Big Hart,
Yeah.
let me elaborate on that. That's what I'm talking about. You see how you said it's exciting? Yeah, it is exciting. But that excitement is taking your life. And now that program is in you. And that program is what's in the rap music. That same excitement is being taught to your kids. And they coming out here looking for excitement in life and not realizing what life is about. That's what it do to you. What's exciting about dying? We looked at it that way because it's made normal to us. We desensitize. And this is why we have to talk about this and get this put out. Because these kids are running around here with their pants sagging, flying their colors, cripping and blooding, and they proud of it. But they gonna die young, bro. They dying with everything in them, and they not realizing the power they possess. It's like the Bible say, my people are dying for lack of knowledge. For what? What you consider a good time? That good time is taking lives. Yeah, your life may not have got took, but that man that's laying down there now, you got to look at his family. If you had a daughter, if you had a son, they suffering, mama, daddy. So when we say it was exciting, yeah, evil is exciting. But evil's going to take your life because evil is instant. When we working for God, it takes work. But you fighting to get eternal life. And that's where we've been blinded, bro. Our whole community. We as black people are looking out here for a fast life, for excitement. To go to college, to be a doctor, to do that 8 years, not excitement. It's dedication, it's discipline.
And I end up, I didn't even know I was going to say that word exciting, but hey, it came out naturally. So
Oh, it's
just
true,
thinking
though.
of that word though, excite, I was so excited by seeing all this stuff that was traumatizing that I ended up being a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And when I think back at a lot of stuff I was involved in, man, I went a lot of years just thinking that I was a bad person, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when I went to prison.
How long you go to prison for?
Almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that being connected to a robbery from a younger part of my life, it just made me, even when I got out, I was like, oh man, I done effed up my life. And knowing that like at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that I was involved in, I realized, that wasn't me. That's who I was being at that time. That's how I was behaving, and could have lost my life and been in prison for life. But I felt like I had another chance. But it makes me go back to when I was younger. Once again, I mean, it was. I didn't really realize it was traumatizing back then. But when I think back, man, it wasn't nothing cool about every week seeing somebody laid out on my street from whatever side.
But how would you know it's traumatizing if you don't know what it's like to be normal, to be without trauma? We had trauma from day one. Trauma was in your DNA. And that's what I'm talking about. We have to talk to this world, talk to our people, and tell them and show them what it's like to heal from trauma. Because you felt the way you felt because trauma did that to you. It changed your whole system. It stops the way you think. It does so much to you. You feeling bad about what you're doing. You're looking at yourself saying, I'm a bad guy. So you carry that because now you protect yourself in that. And you keep that character going. So that's why we have to start realizing we at them young kids got stuck at that age within our mind. And that's what's happening. They're glorifying this killing with these rappers, and these guys are coming around. Yeah, they grown, but within their mind, they still kids, bro. They playing cops and robbers. And the world is letting it promote this to our people. And I say our people meaning the hood, because we live in it. We live in it. We see it. So by seeing it, we take that rap music as real life. We experience what they're talking about. But now it's time to stop experiencing it and stop this. It's time to stand up for our kids, bro. It's time to stand up for our community. It's time to do something about this. God is on our side. That devil done tore us up enough. You and lost people, I and lost people, and everybody glorifying it. Here we go, pouring out liquor for the lost homie. You know how many dreams are in the damn graveyards that never got to show who they really were? That's the pain of this, man. People die without having that experience. So for me to have an experience and understand there's more to this world than what we thought, and for God to come and show up, that's what hurts my heart. Because now I'm realizing these young men and died for nothing, and they never really fully understand the power they possess. That's what we got to start showing our people, bro. Because our kids are being lost. Our grandkids are getting lost due to this trauma of what we glorify. Hell with this music. Hell with this TV. It's time to change, bro.
And that make me think about, as you say that, I got 4 sons, and just sitting here thinking like, and now my youngest son is rapping. He's 15. So with all of my sons, I just remember I get more and more relaxed as I get older, but I'm just thinking back years ago, and I used to be on my sons a lot when they start rapping because the content, I'm already knowing what they listening to, all this violence and stuff like that in the average rap song. But I used to be on them like, nah, man. I even used to tell my son, like, no, y'all not going to record on my equipment talking about all them guns. I was like, y'all not out there doing that. That's why I moved y'all to the valley, even though it's trouble everywhere. But I moved them. I didn't want them to be raised where I was raised if I could help it. And I did. But I used to be even more upset, like, man, why y'all talking about all these guns or whatever, all this nonsense in the song, like, and then I had to realize, I had to tell myself, Hawk, you don't think they heard your old music? I mean, of course, my first song was Drop the Glocks. But then as I was in them streets like that and went through different phases, I was banging on wax too, or talking about guns and stuff. So I had to realize not only are they listening to all these other songs, they listening to their own daddy older music. And, you know, we was a cool crew, but we was knuckleheads too. So I had to step back and be like, man, okay.
Yeah, but
So I backed away from like the fuss and like realizing like, man, they getting this from somewhere. So
From you.
I'm gonna fuss at them and they listening to my music. I mean, not currently, but like, you know, before I elevated on different levels. And
Well,
then,
isn't a kid put in this world to follow a program? And it's up to us. If we haven't figured it out, then what we think our kids gonna do? But people are not looking at this. You thinking your kid don't see your life. Your kid is experiencing your life every moment. Your energy, the way you act, the way you talk, everything. And if they want to be musicians and you got music, yeah, they gonna listen to that. But again, bro, we have to change. And we have to change us first. Until we change us, man, it's gonna be hard to change our family.
so what was another situation in your life other than that when you was 8 and seen that dead body slump in the car? What is another situation that was traumatizing for you in your life?
Well, after 2 years later, me and my brother was in the house watching TV and we heard shooting outside. And we heard it, we just let it go. But that morning as we woke up and we went to school, as we was walking down the street, we get to the corner. And as we get to the corner, we see a chalked out image of where a body laid last night. And within that chalked out image was the blood of the man that got killed that night before. Man, me and him, we looked at that blood dry up every day. Now I can see how it was taking our soul. Because we was looking at the devil, we was looking at hell. We was experiencing something that changed our life. So that put us on the defense to start protecting ourselves. But the question I have today is, why would somebody leave a chalk out body with blood in it in 1979? What I'm trying to show you is the community we grew up in moved into a white neighborhood, and they start moving out as us blacks start moving in. So as something happened, if you leave this here for these kids to see it, it's going to permeate their soul, their mind. And it's going to change them to get on that defense and get that PTSD at that early age.
So that was a form of programming right there, too.
Bro, it was a program. It was a program. It was psychological warfare, and I'm now sitting here to tell you I see it. You know why? Because 26 years later, that brother that was with me became that blood spot on the ground. That's how deep this goes.
Yeah, that was one of the most traumatizing things in my life for sure. When I got that call that your brother had got murdered. I don't even remember who called me, man. I just remember I was in the shack doing music, me and Put, and somebody called me, was like, they just killed Jap, whoever they is. And I was like, who? I said, who? He's like, Jap. I said,
Well, let me say something to you,
Baby
bro.
Jap?
Let me
He
say
said,
something to
nah,
you before you
Lil
keep
Jap.
going. Let me say something to you.
Yeah.
They just killed Jeffrey, bro. Again, let's not glorify the
right.
gang life.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And I just remember instantly, I didn't even like going to Sadma. It was like I got angry. And I remember just throwing the phone and trying to figure out, like, nah, this can't be true. Yeah, that was very traumatizing. And to go over there and see the blood on the ground still. And the candles already there. Like, I didn't even want to go, but I went. And I couldn't even walk over there. I just seen it from a distance. Like, why is that blood still right there? So now that image was just in my head for a long time. And even now, as I'm talking about it, just that image of just that blood, like, I'm like, damn, they could have cleaned that up, man. So once again, that's programming and another thing, I remember being in Compton. I was 18, fresh out of high school. I used to go over there hanging out with my partner Vic. And he used to be like, I remember I just put some rims on there, my first car, put some music in there, was feeling good. And I used to come over there and be bumping the music. I love music. I love, my homie was like, man, just turn it down when you, he's the one who lived over there. And he was telling me, turn it down when you pulling up, man, because, these dudes over here, they grimy. And I was like, my homie's grimy too. I'm already used to this. I kept doing the same thing. A week later, I went to his house. As I'm knocking on the door, some dudes, I was 18, they looked like they was 15. They came across that grass, silent, and put the gun on my head. Told me to give him the keys. And I was like, what you talking about? I had an attitude like, no, I ain't giving, there's 3 of them. I was like, I ain't giving y'all no keys. And then I just had a flash of them shooting me, and I was like, it ain't even worth it. So I threw the keys at him. As soon as I threw the keys at him, he was looking like, he said something like, cuz. And he gave me back the keys, and instead of him just, them leaving in my car, he got an attitude or felt however he felt, and they could have just left, but now I done threw the keys at him, and he handed them back to me, and now it done turned into a kidnapping, or whatever that's called. So he made me drive wherever that street was, pulled in the back. At this point, I'm thinking now they about to kill me. So that was traumatizing. At the time, when it happened, I was like, man, this, especially when we pulled up and they told me to get out. And I was like, get out. And I was still being stubborn, and even with the gun pointed at me. So I got out, and I was just looking at him, and I said, man, y'all know karma is real, right? And he said, I don't want to hear that, cuz, or whatever he said. And then I had my sister's chain on, and they looked like, oh, you got gold on too. And he reached out and tried to grab it, and I moved back. So when he didn't get a chance to snatch it, and they was like, get up out of here. And I was still standing there. He told the dude in the back, give me the heat. And at that time, I thought my life was over, but it wasn't. They shot at me a couple times. I ended up hopping this fence that I don't even know. You know, that adrenaline kicked in. It was like a movie. Hopped the fence, hopped another fence. Dog bite me, knock on the door. Yeah, I was scared. I thought I was about to die the whole time. They wasn't even behind me. They had already pulled off in the car. I'm knocking on the door, older lady. I'm asking to use her phone because I just got robbed and carjacked. And she was like, get away. So I said, all right, I'm on my own. Went to the side of the house, peeked out on Wilmington, and I see my car with the music up, and they turned that way. That was a cold feeling. So my pops picked me up, and that's where it started, man. Like I just went on the whole mission, and like, oh man,
Wow.
yeah, I felt like somebody gonna feel the pain that I just felt, and I was like, it can't be anybody. I went back over there where they took me to, because I felt like that's where they be at, and I didn't want to just hit anybody. I was like, you know, I want to see this dude, one of them 3 dudes, and I'm in my mind I was like, I'm gonna take their life. And
So wait a minute.
I
So
didn't
that
see him.
wait a minute. Hold on, bro. So that took you to want to go get revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right now, what we gonna do is we're gonna sign out, and we're gonna come back to you guys next week. Subject being revenge, to show you how this trauma, these crimes keep going, and it's tearing up our community. Thank you for signing in. Peace.
Peace out.
All we need is love to make it through another day. All we need is love, 'cause I don't